Honorable Speaker, dear participants, lobbying regulation and development of lobbying framework has more than 10 years of history. We have had several working groups, we have prepared concepts, and finally in 2012, even a draft law was submitted, but it did not receive the required political support. Eventually, in 2019, this Saima took over this work. A working group was set up, and we also were one of the participants, as well as the Anti-Corruption Office, as well as the Ministry of Justice. And a positive aspect is that whatever is done is based on experience of other countries. It is based on studies, and it has been proceeding in a targeted manner. Transparent lobbying is a part of an open and transparent decision-making process. An open and fair state administration. We have to be open about what interests affect certain decisions, and we have to make sure that these decisions are not made to support specific narrow interests. And this is one of the cornerstones to ensure that our people trust the governance and government more. We have to ensure that our decisions are fairer and based on common interests. Lobbying transparency is also one of the 6 directions in the Open Governance Action Plan of Latvia, and it was approved by the Cabinet of Ministers in February this year, and it has to be implemented by the end of 2021. Saima is a part of this plan and is one of our partners with regards to the interest representation initiative. Transparency in these processes, as well as resource allocation processes, can be ensured only if we act together and if we do that according to uniform standards. Many decisions start the path towards adoption in the state administrations and move to the cabinet and eventually end up in Saima. People see us as one uniform body and they either trust all of us or none of us. OECD Council, in their recommendations on open governments, indicated that we have to move towards an open state that covers all the branches of governance to ensure that our country is much more open, responsible, and so that we would facilitate people's participation. When we work on the new draft law, we rely on the public participation arrangements and the current dialogue with the public that we try to stimulate as actively as we can. For example, in supporting documents that accompany specific legislative acts, we include public opinions. And quite soon, namely in spring next year, we'll have a new legislative portal. It will be a shared solution, e-solution, that will allow all members of the public to follow each and every legal act, how it is developed, how it is drafted, what stages it have completed, and what recommendations or proposals have been received. Currently, it is very important to delineate lobbying from a regular public participation in what the Saima or state administration do. It is important, for example, for an NGO who sends an opinion or asks for a meeting with a minister would have to be quite clear, would have to understand whether this is lobbying or not lobbying, especially if we impose a registration requirement. Also, these solutions should be realistic and practical so that they can be implemented. According to the codes of ethics adopted in the state administration, we already have sections on cooperation with lobbyists, on the requirement to publish information about interaction with lobbyists. Thus, it is very important to include responsibility for implementation of the law and also allocate the necessary resources. I wish all of you very successful and fruitful conference and all the best to you. Thank you.